my name is Arthur Elliott and I go by Arthur and no one else for my music. I've been into music since I was about 5 years old. Growing up I would always record my own CDs in my room, recording just really bad live tracks of whatever I came up with on the spot. I'd say I wrote my first cohesive song when I was about 12 or 13. When I was 14 I started using BandLab, which I guess is like the modern equivalent of GarageBand. Kind of, I don't know, I might be really wrong there, but I think it is. To record, I used it to record demos at home and sometimes at school. I became quite literally obsessed with it. To this day I still use it, but I'm 21 now, so obviously I'm much better at mixing and timing and everything. Like, I've gotten much better with that. Some of the early songs I recorded, if the timing started off well, it was like guaranteed that by the end of the song it was just gone, and everything was out of time and just out of tune and just very, very bad. Yeah, it would be great to be in the studio one day with a band, but as of right now I still really enjoy recording in my room and playing all the instruments myself. It's just fun. I moved out of home when I was 19 and that hasn't been the easiest journey for me, but wherever I am I always have writing and recording to go back to. Recording can be tricky sometimes, don't get me wrong, especially when all you have is your phone, guitar and some headphones. And I also have another pair of headphones to record vocals because it has a better mic built into it. But I like to think I make the most out of what I have. I'm much more settled now anyway in my life, and in the last year or so I feel as though I've really found my sound and where I want to go with my music. A question I get a lot is how I record so much and why do I release so much? Well, to answer the first one, it's pretty much one of the only things I do with my free time. I'm a dad to the most beautiful boy in the world, and when I don't have him, I'm basically just writing and recording. I tend to like staying in a lot. I'm very introverted, so that's usually what I'm doing. And I release a lot of music simply because I just love doing it. I don't know how much longer I'll do it or if it's something I'll really pursue forever. I would like to, but if it doesn't work out, I at least want to make the most out of what I'm doing right now. The people in my life have always been very kind and supportive, and I'm really grateful that people I don't know are finding it and being just as supportive. It's been really cool to see when something I've made has done quite well, or better than sort of anything I've released up until that point, if that makes sense. So if you're one of those people who's engaged with my stuff, left a kind comment or sent me a message, then yeah, thanks a lot. I never imagined my music resonating with anyone, so it means a lot. One last thing I wanted to say, I don't think about this a lot, but I guess a lot of the subject matters of my music can be quite heavy. I was an addict for 4 years, from when I sort of just left high school until I was about to turn 19. I actually got clean because I found out I was going to be a dad, and the whole experience of going to groups and having a coordinator / sponsor was a really great one. Very strange being sat there as an 18-year-old, but that was that was my own fault, obviously. A lot of that time in my life goes into the songs I write. I used drugs to cope with anxiety and stuff. It was lockdown, so pretty scary time for everyone. Mostly about the anxiety thing, but also the other thing. If I can do anything to help anyone going through something similar, I guess that's one of my aims with my music. Also to just record cool sounding songs. But yeah, it's not a thing I think about, but a lot of my favourite artists sing about stuff like that, and it's good to feel seen in a way. Anyway, that's basically all from me, but in case I missed anything, I've written down just some quick facts about me. So I'm 21, as I mentioned earlier. I'm a dad, as I also mentioned earlier. I like analog horror. I'm a huge fan of stuff to do with the backrooms and also silent horror films like Nosferatu, the original obviously, and Faust. I hate AI. I love Mario Kart. It's why I call an album of mine Racing Games, which is actually my most popular album to date, which is really, really cool. I've got an album out soon called Greatest Fears, which I like a lot. And my influences are Elliott Smith, Greg Mendes, Alex G and Daniel Johnston. If anyone has any questions, feel free to let me know on here, or you can message me on my Instagram at Arthur__Elliott. I hope you guys who have been listening to my stuff continue to do so, and if you haven't heard my music yet, I hope this wasn't an awful first impression. Okay, I'm glad this is over. I just hate the sound of my own voice. But thanks for watching. I really appreciate everyone's support, and yeah, bye-bye.